Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, and all variations thereof, and welcome. Welcome to the Wednesday stream. Hello, everybody. Hello, hi. Hi, everyone. Hi, everybody. Hello. How are we today? I got a haircut. And, existed. And I'm wearing my comfy jumper today because I am exhausted. I'ma be real. I really enjoy the streams with Ed on Tuesdays. But they average out at being double the length of my average stream. And it takes it out of me. And most days that's fine because I can just sleep it off right there and then. But I haven't been getting much sleep these past few days. So I've kind of ended up in a sort of a weird place where I am really wanting to go to sleep. And at the same time, I cannot sleep. So I'm stuck awake, staring at the ceiling going, please let me sleep. Yesterday I did manage to get to sleep though. And that was fine. And then I woke up at 5 o'clock this morning. Stared at my clock for like 10 minutes, went back to sleep again, woke up 2 hours later at 8 o'clock, got ready for my hairdresser appointment because that was at 9 o'clock, or at least I thought it was at 9 o'clock. It was actually at 9:30. And I'd set the time on the calendar date wrong. And that lasted from 9:30 until 1:30 because I had to get my hair cut and dyed and bleached and everything. But it looks a lot more closer to the color that I like for this side of my hair. So that's a good thing, I think. Yeah. So I'm existing. I'm existing at the moment. I popped up to the local civic hall because apparently there was an Antiques Roadshow thing going on today. Turns out, while the organizers were there, basically nobody showed up. Because Shildon isn't a big place for antiques. So yeah, that's a thing. And I do have a bit of a headache coming on. I say I have a bit of a headache coming on. I always have a headache. It just feels like it's gonna get a little worse soon. And I think I might need to take some ibuprofen in a minute. Actually, I'm gonna do that now because me taking it in a minute is gonna make it kick in even later than taking it now would. So I'll be right back, everybody. You know, I've spent a lot of my life essentially being taught that medication is a last resort. That like if you've tried, you can only take the medication if you've tried everything else. Which is not a good outlook on medication in general. Medication is something that is designed to help. And maybe back in the day, especially with like substances like opium that were used in medical settings but had very addictive side effects, maybe medication was a last resort. But these days, most medication is non-addictive and very helpful. Like, for example, ibuprofen or aspirin or any number of other medications that work with this. This is a liquid gel capsule tablet, by the way, if you're wondering why it's bright red and see-through. So yeah, gonna quickly. Ugh. Pills are not my forte. I'm good at swallowing some things, but pills are not one of them. That should kick in the next 10 to 15 minutes, hopefully. And maybe I'll be able to think a little clearer. Yeah, no, that's true, Dragon Reaper. It's because the gel ones are technically already liquid, so they diffuse faster, whereas the solid tablets have to disintegrate in your, well, stomach and so on. Hey, Teloak. I don't care for the gel cap. I find it gets stuck in my throat too often. I prefer the old hard shell capsule. I mean, yeah, everyone has their preferences. My personal preference is the gel shells because they're pretty, actually. I have an aesthetics thing. But also because they don't have like a rough texture. And yeah. It has the faster breakdown in the stomach, yeah. But it's like water-soluble tablets have this weird texture that I do not like on my tongue. And that's the autism speaking, but that is what it is. It's the texture of like general like tablet pills is unpleasant. And the like capsule pills, those just feel like swallowing plastic and I don't like them. The gel ones aren't too bad. They're the best of a bad lot, essentially. I don't like pills in general. I always feel like they're gonna get stuck in my throat. They never do, I should point out, but it does feel like it sometimes. Yes, Telok, the powder texture from clanking around in the bottle, breaking down, and the flavor as well. Like the flavor of the slight dust that comes with the tablet when you put it on your tongue just before you swallow it down with water, and it's always bitter and it always tastes awful. Yeah. Flavor of blackboard chalk. Exactly. Yeah, no, I have to take a few different things because of the fact that I don't get out often. I have to take vitamin D supplements. I haven't taken them in a little while, and I probably should start taking them again. I forgot. It's the problem with the ADHD, actually. It's like you start setting yourself into the modus of forming a habit around taking specific things at specific times and so on and so forth. But the moment that you forget one day, just one day, that habit is gone. It's been thrown out the window. It's been left on the side of the road 60 miles back. Which isn't great, especially for like taking regular pills and stuff. And I have a nice little pill box, which has like the days of the week on it, and it's got a decent amount of storage space in it, and it's stylistically nice. I bought this one along with another one for Zerion a couple of years back. And realistically, what I should be doing is I should be putting a vitamin gummy in there for every week, every day of the week, because I should be having one a day, basically. And that's what I prefer. Pill-wise, is I prefer vitamin gummies, and like specifically gummies that have like some form of flavoring to them. And the ones that I have downstairs are like I think like blackberry flavor, which is quite nice. Hey Guy, welcome. I'm just talking about medication and my day, and the fact that I really need to like find someone to figure out when my ADHD medication is going to be ready, if ever. You know, I need to that's something I need to do. I need to go to my NHS login. Because I need to check which GP I'm currently registered with, because it should be one in my current town. But that doesn't necessarily mean it is. So, oh good. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna have to, one of the things I need to do is I need to book a GP appointment, because yeah. But that's not for now. That's for later. Yeah, it's likely to be a chill stream. It's likely to be a chill stream today. I'm not really sure what to do today. Like, realistically, I could just... Oh, wow. A bot. Holy shit. A bot. Goodbye, bot. Ta-ta. Ciao, ciao. I'll see you in hell in a couple of years. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. I could play Hades 2. Realistically, I could. But I have put 52 hours into Hades 2 in the past 7 days. Like, I have played basically 10 hours a day of Hades 2. Almost. Well, considering I ignored everything that I kept myself spoiler free right up until it released, Telok. So I have kept myself entirely spoiler free of anything in Hades 2 until it released. And then the day it released, I played a bit, and I've been doing, and everything that I have done in Hades 2 has been streamed. So I have 52 hours of streamed content in Hades 2. So I feel that I have done a pretty damn good job. Or done a bit too much, to be honest. But yeah. What I might do... Yeah, you're allowed to look. You're allowed to look. We have a look redeemed for a reason. You know? You're allowed to look. But yeah. We could do some Hades 2. We could do some Lost Skies if we want some nice chill times. Or alternatively, we could do some Ghost Industries lore-based stuff today. I'm letting the ibuprofen kick in and try and keep the current headache at bay, which it's trying. It's really trying, but it's gonna take a minute or two. Mind doing the bit? Ooh! Good point, Dragon Reaper. That's a good point. The Vintage Story server was meant to go down last week, but I forgot. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. Files. Ooh. Ah. Fingies. Right. Yes, let's do this. Let's do this. We need to... Oh, God, no, wrong file. There we go. This file. File. Site manager. Which one of these is it? Fuck, which one of these? It's fine. I need settings, copy, and then two 052. Username, copy, and then password. Okay. That worked? That's a good question. The answer is Maybe. Connect? Oops. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I need to... You smell a heist scroll. Well, I'm not writing... Well, I say I'm not writing the... I've already written the heist episode. The problem with the heist episode, right? The problem with the heist episode is, we're missing a key character. Or rather, we're missing the actor for a key character. The actor for said key character hasn't responded to my messages in over a year. In fact, they haven't responded to anybody's messages in over a year. So it's a bit of an issue, and I don't want to make my friends feel bad by asking them to be direct with the person that I'm trying to contact, because that just makes me feel like I'm using my friends to get to other friends, and that doesn't feel great. So, but at this point, I might need to take drastic action because it's been a while, and I need to get either I need confirmation that this person is not coming back, basically, or I need assurance that they are going to be around at some point, basically. So yeah, it's it's gonna be a little annoying because that's kind of how it is. It's like I don't want to be a bother, and that's a bit of a big problem for me, right? I don't like to bother people, and I'm very yeah. I don't like to bother people. Generally speaking, I do my best not to. But sometimes it has to be done. There we go. Okay. I am going to make a new folder on my desktop. VS Community Server Season 1. Okay. And drag and drop. Right. There we go. That download is started. Yes, Kai. Yeah, no, I have a similar issue in that I don't like to chase people up because in my view, people are just trying to do their best, right? People are just trying to do their best, and if I'm chasing them up about various bits and pieces, then those people aren't gonna have as much time in the day to try and do their best, right? But at some point you have to put your foot down and say enough is enough. And I'm very bad at figuring out where that point is, especially in matters of moderation, for example. There are times where I will put my foot down and say enough is enough, but I am quite bad at telling where that line is. and quite bad at going, okay, this is where my line is, and I will not have you cross this. Because I'm always like, I will give people the benefit of the doubt. I will always give them a second chance, all of that sort of thing. But sometimes you have to like put your foot down and go, no, I won't deal with this anymore. It's been going on long enough, or you're being this and this and the other. And it takes a lot. It takes a lot to make me angry. Like, it takes an extraordinary amount of effort to make me angry. Very few people have seen me properly angry. I think I've only ever been properly angry once on this stream. Yeah, I mean, you've been around, Titan. You've probably seen me have a bad day like once. I can recall one specific time in my entire streaming career where I actively got angry at someone on stream. Someone in chat on stream, I should say. And that was Galadas. And that was Galadas who basically told me that the genocide of Palestinian people was a good thing. And I had to sit there and just... I had a bit of a... I broke on that one. I had a bit of a, like... That one made me actually go... basically. So that person got banned. Like... I had a measured discussion, but I was angry in that time period, and that person eventually just got banned. I couldn't deal with it. And I don't do that often. Like, I ban bots. I don't usually ban people. Like, I think I can count on one hand the amount of people that I have actually had to ban in my chat. Like, I can count on one hand the amount of people I've had to ban. The amount of bots I've had to ban, that's just a stack in a corner. But, like, there's not much I can do about that. They're bots. Like, some random person built a bot that recursively rebuilds itself and throws follower stuff at me. It's like, no, go away. But some people push me a little too far, and it takes a very specific, like, it takes either a lot of consistent effort or some very specific, very bad talking points will get me angry. But it doesn't happen often, and I try not to let it happen often, because I don't want to be known as, like, an angry streamer. You know, I don't want to be known as, like, oh, I'm the cruel and like terrible streamer who bans all his followers. Is like, no, I don't want to be that person. But it does mean that, like, sometimes I let things go on a little too long, because I'm trying to give someone a chance to change their ways, or to, like, mend fences and mend bridges and stuff. And sometimes it's like, yeah, okay, I'm aware that I've allowed this to be, like, I'm aware that I've allowed this to, like, propagate a bit too long, but at that point it's like, I am certain. But sometimes there are times where I have to be like, okay, no, this has to stop. But I am measured in my use of the hammer, as it were. It takes very specific things to make me sort of go, okay, no, that I'm shutting that down now, sort of thing. But yeah. No, I what was I talking about before we got onto, like, moderation stuff? I don't remember. Hold on, let me scroll back up through chat. Oh yeah, I was talking about the Ghost Industries stuff, specifically the heist episode, the cargo ship heist episode, which I've been planning for a while now, which is essentially the next episode in the list, chronologically speaking. Though it might not be the next episode that we actually make, it is in like it. Okay. Here's another thing for my autism. For the people who are autistic or who are autistic light or who have ADHD or who might have any other realm of like other stuff. I find it extremely difficult to make things out of order. And I know that might sound a little bit weird to some of you, but I have to make things like release order to me also equates order to watch in, which is not necessarily true for everything. Like, obviously you've got the Star Wars sequels and prequels, and the prequels come before the sequels, but the sequels were released before the prequels. Yeah. Not everything is to be watched in release order. But that's how my brain works. It's like, you make it, then you watch it, then you make the next thing, then you watch it. Or you watch this as it's coming out in release order. And that's one of the problems with editing for me. I have to edit in release order. I can't edit episode 6 before I edit episode 5. I can't edit episode 9 before I edit episode 2. I can't do it. It actively makes my brain hurt to like try and edit in non-release order. And I've tried doing it and it does not work. It drives me nuts. So one of the things that I have sort of come to the realization of is with the Ghost Industries stuff, the things that I do have to be to some degree sensible to watch in release order, if not necessarily designed to be in release order. Now, the cargo ship heist is related to Omen of Cheese. Omen of Cheese being the last episode that we released on the Ghost Industries channel, my channel. The Ghost Industries archive is the VOD channel. I call my channel the Ghost Industries channel, but it's not. It's the Lucian v Ghost channel. Anyway. I have this idea that the Omen of Cheese episode is essentially just a cover-up for an entirely different episode that is planned to exist between then and there. And it might be a few episodes before we get to that episode because of the fact that I am currently missing a cast member. I'm missing several cast members, I think. I know that Zerion is constantly busy. Lalnable's always here. Now you said Omen of Cheese, I think. The subs insist it's ominous cheese. It's the Omen of Cheese episode. It's the Omen of Cheese episode. That's literally what it is. It's yeah. I am going to very quickly zip up this stuff. And I will... How much is this actually? Properties. Okay. The Vintage Story server is 21 gigabytes, everybody. So, actually, I'm gonna stop that from zipping up. So I need to figure out which of these is the world save, because realistically, I cannot provide the entire server for you guys. So, Dragon Reaper, I need to know. Hold on, let me. Window capture, no, main scene. Give me my webcam. Hi, I'm here. Give me display capture. There we go. Okay, so I need to know which of these bits and pieces. There we go. Sorry. Because this is the server, and the server is now offline. But I need to know which of this I need to zip up into a little packet, so that, because I know the mods folder isn't necessary. But I need to know where essentially the world data is. I assume it's in saves, but that doesn't seem right because it's a little empty. It might be assets, but I'm not entirely certain about that either. So I require the information, and I think the quickest way to get that information is from chat. Hold on. I have received... Oh, no, that's fine. That's just the thing. That's just the thing I was looking at earlier. I thought I had received a text message. It's in saves. Okay, so data, saves. Okay. So do I just... It's the name you made the world. So Ghost Multi is probably what we're looking at here. Like if I look at the server config.json, we have not entirely certain where I can tell that. So it's a VCDBS. Okay, so VC. Okay, I have 3 VCDBS files. Some have dashes on them, like -SHM and -WAL. I'm assuming that like I can just zip these into a folder and that'll give you the world, I think. And then I'll just stick it on Google Drive for you guys to have. Or if it's small enough, I'll just stick it in the Discord. Line 355 in the server config. Okay. Server config, line... Why is it so far down? 355. 355 is allow fire spread, Dragon Reaper. That doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem right. Here we go. Line 335 is what I'm looking for. Hey, Aidwolf. Welcome. And hey, El. Sorry, I didn't say hi. Okay, so ghostmulti.vcdbs is what we're looking at. Okay, so if I just zip these files up. Oh wow, that's Hoo boy. Oh boy. Okay, no, hold on. That's 20 gigabytes just in those files. Everything else is superfluous. That's where all the heft is. Right. That's... I don't know that there's a way we can trim that down, is there? Dragon Reaper. I don't know if that's... I don't know if that's possible to trim that down. Huh. Just need the VCDBS one. Okay. Alright. Well, that one is still 20 gigabytes. That file is massive. I don't think I can host that on Google Drive. Because I think my Google Drive is limited to 15 gigabytes. So that might be a problem. I'm gonna quickly rename this. This one. And I'm gonna pull this out and put it on there. And I'm just gonna delete the rest because the rest is unnecessary, I think. I think. Fair enough, Kai. Enjoy your lurking. We have a lurk redeem for the lurkers. There's the lurk redeem. Yay. I should add the lurk emote to the lurk redeem. I'll do that at some point. Okay. That's a bit of a conundrum right there. How do I share? Yeah, but that's awful, Comkiller. That's like, I don't want someone to have to download 6 different parts of a file just to, like, that's just annoying, you know? And still, it doesn't solve the problem of it takes up 20 gigabytes of space. You're just splitting it down into 5 gigabyte chunks out of 20 gigabytes, and it still takes up 20 gigabytes of space. Technically speaking, I could just allow people to download it off the server. But that comes with its own issues because it's essentially a direct connection to my server box. And I don't really want to do that. I don't really want to do that because like a direct connection to the server box is a risk. But it would be the easiest way to do it because the server box has plenty of storage space. I think. I don't actually know how much storage. I think there's a 1 terabyte SSD in there, or at least a 500 gigabyte SSD. But it's been a while since I opened it up, and I don't usually open the server WeTransfer. How big can we get with WeTransfer? Ah, yes, well, therein lies the problem. To send a file to keep forever, you have to pay, I believe. Or at least, yeah. Because 1 day and 3 days is free. But anything above that costs money. So that won't work. Okay. Dragon Reaper, you want a copy of the world, right? And I'm guessing T-Man wants a copy as well. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to... Okay. What was the... There was a different file transfer service that I used that didn't require a sign-up that allowed for large file sending. Hold on. I recall... something, because I had to send something to Ed and it was really large. Was it Ed? It was a while back. Oh, excuse me. There was a different one that allowed for a decent large file transfer without having to sign up to it, which was really nice because it. I'm not giving Google money, ComKiller. I'm not giving Google money, Killer. Absolutely not. Google gets all my data and all my ad revenue. They're not getting my money as well. They don't deserve it. The reason it's so big, Dragon Reaper, is because it's an 8 million by 8 million world. It's 8 million blocks by 8 million blocks, and T-Man traveled a lot of it. That's why it's so big. Well, I'm not giving them more, Killer. I'm not giving them more money. It's my money. File Excel, was it? File mail, transfer now. Transfer Excel. It was not this one. Was it this one? No. It had a neat looking visual. Was it Airbridge? Yes, it was Airbridge. There we go. Send files via link. Desktop. Slow. Well, that's... and I've exceeded it by 33 megabytes. Great. I had to give Google my money as my photo album on my phone hit 24 gigabytes, and although I have 1 terabyte OneDrive, that doesn't help with my Gmail account. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, fine. WeTransfer. Are you better? Do you... Add file. Nope, I have to pay for this one as well. Okay. Dragon Reaper, I'm going to... Okay, maybe... This file is too large. Please use LimeWire instead. No. Dragon Reaper, I am going to... I'm going to give you a little bit of access here. I'm going to give you a little bit of access here. And I want to make sure that I can... Saves... Post multi... Okay, so... Yeah, right. Okay. Okay. Users. Create new. Dragon Reaper. Right. Administrator. No. So I'm going to give you some limited access. And I'm going to need an email, Dragon Reaper. You do not have to send it through chat. You can send it through Discord, and I will hide it on stream. But I'm going to need an email, which should give you access to the Vintage Story server console, and you should be able to download the world from there. Because I'm gonna be honest, this seems like the fastest way to do this, because it's already up there. I don't see a reason why I shouldn't just be able to send it. Well, not even send it, just have you download it from there. And you know how to navigate that sort of thing. And then if T-Man asks, T-Man can get it from you. Because I'm not going through the whole palaver of signing up to a large-scale file transfer system. No, thank you. I don't want that. Yeah. I don't want, like, so many different companies already have random passwords and emails that I've used. I don't want more. I don't want to have to deal with more, basically. Oh, file mail doesn't need registration. Can it? Okay. I'll think about that one. Okay. Copy. I'm gonna turn this display capture off for you guys for a moment while I do this. And I create user. Oh, woo. Hold on. Ah, right. Okay. So you should be getting an email at some point, Dragon Reaper, and that should give you the ability to see the server browsers and download files. You don't have full administrative access. But you shouldn't need it, realistically speaking. Yeah. You have 9 emails? I have 3. I have 3 emails. Like, why would you need 9? Why would you need 9? That's so many emails. That's so many emails. So many unnecessary emails. Like, I have a shirt that says I get emails every day, and I get so many unnecessary emails every day. Cat. I've had 3 emails for more than 20 years. I've had... I had my first email for 6 years, and then I switched over to a different set that I've had for about 8 years, I think. Right. I'm gonna turn this... I'm just gonna delete that because it's not... I don't need it on my desktop right now. The Vintage Story server. Okay, the Velocity proxy is suspended. The Vintage Story server will eventually be suspended. But I will have to... Wow, that really is really big now. I should have made the world size smaller. Nine, a link to different things I mod or have to manage. 7, I forgot the one on my Microsoft account. One of them is a dead end I use for those gimmick games on mobile browser. 2 are spam traps. I have one email that is my IRL business email. So I use it for job applications and all of that sort of thing. I have one email which is my spam trap, and I have one email which is my online actual email, which is the Ace of Ghosts email, which is the one I use for all the YouTube stuff. So it's my actual contact email for when you actually wanna. And it's kind of weird because like the email has nothing to do with me as like it's a very old one basically. But because I can't change the actual email because it will forever be the same email, I kind of just ran with it. And I haven't really worried about it. But it does mean that if you ever get an email from lucianvghost@gmail.com, I can tell you now, that is not me. That is not me. Okay, Dragon Reaper, you should have the ability to set your password. You should have received an email from the system, essentially, that should allow you to set a password and proceed to allow you to access the server console. So yeah, I will allow you to fathom that as you see fit, and I'm just not going to worry about that anymore. So treat it the same as all the ones from various banks telling me I need to secure my account. Got you. Yeah, pretty much, Ed. Pretty much. If you see an email that has my name specifically in it as like part of the email address, that's not me. I've never had that. At some point in the future, though, I might set up a website, and coupled with that, I will have an actual like business handle, which will probably be something like lucian@ghostindustries.ltd. But at that point, that's so much branding in there that it kind of goes, yeah, no, that actually is me, you know. It's like I've been pondering about getting a domain that's ghost-industries.ltd, just because that just feels very me. Feels extremely me. Right. God, we've been talking for an hour about this stuff, and I've barely shifted from what I was originally. Well, I didn't really have an original plan, I guess. Right. I'm gonna open up Minecraft. I'm gonna open up Minecraft and run around the facility a bit and see what I actually need to do and think about what I actually need to do. And think about future things and existences and all those other things that are around. I get what in the world? Okay. Interesting. Okay. But yeah, we will have the, I will be trying to put together the next episode of the Ghost Industries series soon, and I also want to put together the final episodes of the Unlikely Reunion series, which has been scraping its way through my brain for the past, like, year and a half. Slowly trying to pry its way out of there, which is kind of difficult to do when my entire existence is... What the hell? Where am I? Oh! I know where I am. And I was trying to rig up a door. Right. I feel like this ceiling needs to be raised. And specifically, this section needs to go up. It's the little details, you know? The little details make or break a project. And in this instance, this ceiling is too low. Because the door should realistically be 1 block higher. There we are. There we go. Much better. Wonderful. Replace walls. Perfect. Hi, Art. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm currently trying to figure out my own existence. Which apparently includes trying to figure out why all the grass is gone. Wow. Sheep are voracious. Okay. Whoop. I need the slab. Because sheep are apparently voracious eaters and will decimate. Hold on. Through the hole. Through the... No? Okay, fine. Don't worry about the skulk. Nobody needs to worry about the skulk. The skulk is fine. Right. Hopefully... the sheep will not decimate the flora here. Okay. Technically, this should be green and yellow, I think, down here, because it's containment, but it's... What's meant to be in... Oh, camel, I think. Oh, I need to replace all these clipboards. Oh, bugger. Because all of these are meant to have... Fuck. Right. That's gonna be irritating. I'm trying to remember what the buttons for loading the hotbars are. I can't remember, so I'm going to quickly check the controls, and it's probably not going to tell me. X. Is it Control X? Shift X? Alt X? I am... Okay. Load hotbar activator. X. So what's the... Okay. Oh, right. 1X. No. Shift 1X? No. Do I have to look this up now? Oh, it's X1. Okay, it's not 1X, it's X1. Got it. Right, I'm gonna quickly... no. Window capture. You guys are getting a first row seat on how to not be a good streamer, I guess. And turn off display capture. There we go. Right. What the? Oh, right. Armadillos. Armadillos. Wonderful. I don't know that we'll be spending much time in here, to be quite honest. Most of the stuff that I need to do with Ghost Industries is writing. And as much as I would love to do more set dressing, I've been informed relatively reliably by most of the people that I know that I have done a little too much set dressing and not enough actual content creation. So yeah. Which is honestly kind of fair. I do enjoy my set dressing. And I haven't done nearly enough actual stuff. You know, it is what it is. You work with what you got, and sometimes you've got someone who just likes to be quiet, and some people like that, and some people don't. You know, it's a thing. I'm not sure that all the God, I need to. I'm gonna have to update to the latest version at some point. And that's gonna be a whole nother trip. Okay. Pull lever. Close that up. There we are. Aren't we all in one way, shape, or form, Art? Aren't we all? This line is not necessary. And neither is this one, I think. Actually, no, that line is necessary. This one isn't. So that needs to swap over to the middle. Because this goes out to a engineering department area. But I need to figure out how I want to curve this road. Which I will eventually get to, but it's not going to be today. Oh. Okay. Need to fill out the garage offices at some point. What I had wanted to do today... Thank you for the T-check, Conchkiller. What I had wanted to do today is build out the dragon caves that are below the facility, or that are meant to be below the facility. I need to find a space for them, though. They need to be connected to the surface in some way. So I'm thinking that I'll put them over this side. Somewhere underneath these ruins. Or maybe over here? Because the dragon cave is going to be kinda important. This needs to go, though. This is... a little too much for the area. There we go. There we go. And what we will replace this with is a path, I think. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be adjusted around here. This is definitely one of them. Because these portals need to be fewer. They're not as common as people might think. And this area needs to be a little more rustic and broken down, I think, than what we have so far. So what we'll do is we will sort of terraform a slight amount, bring this round and in. Make it so that it looks like there's a path up into this area. And then we will eventually make it so that well, eventually this area will just be kind of like ruins like we have over this side. Currently it looks a little too pristine, I think. When Zen and Aluka built it, I did kind of specify ruins, but they made it a little... It's a little homey. It's nice, but it needs more of a ruins vibe, if you will. So it's something that I'll have to look into adjusting later on. Out a little bit, give the terrain a decent amount of softness so that I can actually work some stuff into it at some point. There we are. That should do for now, and eventually we can pepper it. It looks a bit, well, needs a bit more work, obviously. But what can we do except keep trying, making it a little bit nicer every time. That's better. Okay. Dragon Cave. Yes. Somewhere down here, connected to the back of the island, we need a dragon cave. I will signpost this with a nice big red concrete arrow. Couple of them actually, just in case I forget. And I will actually put another one up at the top, just so that I can kind of remember the varying entrances to this. There we go. Perfect. And I will add Dragon Cave to the to-do list. Because it's kind of important until such time as someone informs me otherwise. Okay. Dragon Cave. Yellow dye. Blue ink. There we go. One more thing to have on the to-do list. I need white dye. Because that's not actually started yet. There we go. Now I can actually see some of these. Things to do, things to add, things to think about. Right. Thank you for the mint, Lau. Now, we have right, yes, the other thing that I need to add to the to-do list. Giant mech bays. Because that one is important for the future. Where's my white dye? And those need to go in places that I recall very well, I think. I think I already started on some of the infrastructure for the mech bays. And that's over this way. Welcome back, Kai. I'm talking about well, future episodes. There we go. That's visually kind of correct. But yeah. When I say giant mech bays, I do kind of mean giant mech bays. That's gonna be the height of the door. Like, it's not gonna be small. But yeah, that's added to the to-do list as well. I want to add some more, like, life to the labs. Which I know is a weird thing to say, considering it's laboratories and stuff, but it's so sterile and empty right now. And whenever I spawn in a villager or two, because the area is so big, you need a ton of them to actually make it feel kind of lived in. And if you're not really paying attention, eventually the villagers just wander off and find a random hole and fall in it. Which is kind of irritating. Hey, Tibbles. Good Tibbles. This doesn't need to be in here anymore, because that was removed after the last mod showcase. This gravel pile can be gone. That damaged wall can stay. Gives it a bit of character. These tanks are fine. Wow, we've never used this. There's a lot of things that we've just never used. That can go. And you no longer talk. That's fine. Rotten flesh. There we go. It's important that the genetics kitchen cold storage, which has not been kept cold for several weeks, is rotting. That's an important part of the story that nobody will ever see. Because, yeah. Important storytelling, everybody. Okay, this is fine. This needs work. I'm not sure what is right. I think this is meant to be a security room, and I never got around to it. More things that I never got around to. Feels about right. Welcome to Ghost Industries, everybody. It's a never-ending project that I keep forgetting about. Well, no, that's not true. I don't keep forgetting about it. I keep getting burnt out. Like, every time I go... I take a break from Minecraft for a couple of months. And then I come back and I think, oh, I'll try a new project and I'll try to do more of this and more of that. And then I burn out in, like, 5 days. So I'm trying to take it really slow at the moment. Because if I don't take it really slow, then I'm just going to end up feeling like I've just high-speed chase just driven myself into a pit. Which really doesn't help. You know? Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that to some degree the ADHD medication that I will someday get will help. But that's a one day maybe idea, which as is evidenced by the fact that I don't currently have any ADHD medication, probably tells you how long that's going to take. So, yeah. Okay. Let's do... Let's do a monitor wall. And we'll do a smooth quartz slab. Desk. Just a little something to get me back into the rote existence of this world. There we go. Okay, that'll do for now, and I'll come back to this at some point. Might put, actually, hold on. One here. One here. There we go. Perfect. I do still need to make more posters. It's a never-ending thing. More and more posters. Right. I've added more stuff to the to-do list than I have removed. I haven't really removed anything, to be quite honest. Well, no, that's not true. All of these are done. Which I'm fine with. I'm just adding more. Because I don't know how to stop myself. Right. That's that. That's enough. I don't want to burn myself into and then out of Minecraft all over again. So I'm gonna turn that off now. Okay. So. Oh, hi Brennan. I am pondering, everybody. I am pondering a couple of ideas that are rattling around in my head. I'd like to bounce from neuron to neuron, brain cell to brain cell. What few brain cells I have left at this point. And one of those ideas is, well, one of those ideas is the sort of varying bits and pieces of Ghost Industries episodes that I want to put together. Like I want to do a cloud server episode on sort of the folly of actual like cloud storage. I want to do a sort of an episode on bees because we've had a bee episode planned for ages, and the original bee episode concept I scrapped because I wasn't happy with it. We have an infiltration episode. Oh, the background. Oh yeah, the my Mystery Skulls background. I have a bunch of Mystery Skulls artwork as my background because it's pretty neat. Yeah, I have a couple of ideas rattling around in my head. I'm not really sure how to throw them into how to mold those ideas into a plausible plot line, because that's the trouble I'm having at the moment with a lot of the Ghost Industries stuff. is I want to build a full plot, essentially. Hold on. I'm gonna bring this scene back. Hi. I want to build a full like seasonal plot, as it were. Not necessarily seasonal, but I want to do like an amount of episodes that lead somewhere. Yes, Lau. I can always ask for help. That's what I did yesterday, I think. Or was it this morning? I think it was this morning in the behind the scenes channel in the Discord. I asked for suggestions on what kind of episodes we could do. And I have ideas. It's just a matter of steamrolling my brain into a functional wordsmithing machine, as it were. And that's been quite difficult recently, and I can feel the ibuprofen wearing off already. Oh God. But it's also like one of the things that I would like to ask the question, what do you guys want to see? But I know that the answer to that question is whatever I want to make. Technically speaking, because that's kind of how we've always done this sort of thing. It's like I make things and you guys enjoy them or don't enjoy them, depending on how you guys feel about them. So it's like asking the audience what they want to see is gonna end up with a lot of I'm not entirely certain what you've tried to say there, Killer. Are you saying that my thinking is what's causing my headaches? Or are you saying that I should think what I feel in relation to everything? In which case, I'm trying, but it's kind of very difficult to put emotions into thought. If that makes any sense? But yeah, I have a finished plotline for the Unlikely Reunion series. That's done. That's fully done, writing-wise. But getting to the point where that writing will be turned into an actual visual, that's going to take a little while, because I have to get the motivation under me to actually work on that. And it takes a lot of motivation to work on that at this point. The Ghost Industries stuff doesn't take anywhere near as much motivation to work on, but it's so much looser in terms of its potential. Or rather, in terms of its plot lines, I guess. It's like, it has so many possibilities that I kind of get a little confused and thrown all over the place with it. And then there's like a couple of series ideas that I've been trying to get off the ground for ages now. Like Vault's Spycraft, which I really want to try and sort of do a sort of like espionage-esque style SMP. Sort of team-based espionage style SMP of like teams of 3 to 5 people. And then we have the sort of Darkwood style Vampire the Masquerade style one that I've had in the back of my brain for the past 8 years, which I kind of want to do one of those, of like modded witchcraft SMP type stuff. And then there's just like actual games that I want to try and design. But I'm not a game designer, so I can only draw up the sort of guideline documents for that sort of thing. Which, you know, I do what I can, but I'm no Oxy Oxspring, that's for sure. Oh, ow. Okay. Right. I didn't really know what I was gonna do today, to be quite honest. Today has been a bit of a rough day for me. But a little bit of a chat, talking to you guys, talking about the things that are currently affecting my world, and figuring out how to convey that and how to do various little bits and pieces. It helps. It really does. With that being said, however, everybody, I am, as much as I don't like it, I am exhausted, and my head is slowly starting to kill me. So what I'm gonna say is I'm gonna cut this stream a little early. I'm gonna stick it to the 2-hour mark, which we are very close to now. And I'm gonna say that we're gonna sort of turn this stream off a little early, and yeah, I feel like someone is trying to open my skull with a nutcracker. Like, specifically one of those wooden nutcrackers from, like, film, like, really bad Christmas films. Like, one of those giant wooden toy soldier nutcrackers. Someone's just trying to squeeze my head with one of those. And it really is quite unpleasant. And I really just kind of want to lie down in a dark room and not think for like a couple of hours. So yeah, for now, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go raid a Fionn, who's currently playing some Peak with Shadow at Noon and The Rambler. Thank you all very much for joining us this evening, everyone. We will be back tomorrow with some Mafia. Hopefully I'll have recovered by then. For now, have a very good evening and a very good night. Go give Fionn some love. Go raid them. Have enjoy. Take care. And